What's good, YouTube? Once again, it's the one and only OG Hollywood coming back at you with another edition of the one and only Ferguson Chronicles, where we bring it live. Dayroom, the streets, to the living room. Today, I'm in the studio, and I'm bringing in an individual by the name of Blow that served time in a federal institution, and he's here to give his spiel on what it feels like to be in a federal institution. Although I've never been in a federal institution, so that's why I brought him here to give his insight on being incarcerated in a federal institution. So without further ado, let's tap in with Blow, please. What's good, Blow? I finally got you in it. Finally got you in, man. What's going on?
Man, same old shit. Everyday struggle. What's happening?
Oh, man, like I just explained to the viewers a few minutes ago, man, although I've never been in a federal institution, man, so that's why I brought you in, man, to give us some insight on the federal institution, man, and the things that go on and what led you to the federal institution, man. So go ahead and tell the viewers, man, a little bit about you, man, where you from, what led you to the, to the feds, man.
What led me to the feds? That's what I heard.
Yeah, I said go ahead and tell the viewers, like, where you from, man, a little bit about you, man, so we can get to know Blow, man, where you from, and what led you to the feds, man, and how much time you did.
Oh, man, shit, I'm Blow, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to go by Joe-Blo, but I'm called Blow now, man. Shit, I went to the feds back when I was 20 years old. What led me to the feds was the same thing that led everybody else, trying to feed their families. You know what I'm saying?
So, as a matter of fact, what federal institution were you incarcerated in, man?
Oh, I started out in Fort Worth to try to get this phone right for you.
All right,
can you hear me? Okay, I just do it like that for right now. Hello?
Yeah, you good right there. So now, go ahead and tell us where you was incarcerated at in Fort Worth, man.
I went from Fort Worth. I went to FCI Oakdale, medium security. Then I went from there. Then I went to Oklahoma Transit Unit. Then I left from the Transit Unit. I went down there to Bastrop, down there at the bottom of Texas by Austin and San Antonio. And then I came back and finished my last 5 years in Fort Worth.
So let me ask this, man, because like I said, I've never been in the feds, man. I don't know if some of the viewers are familiar with the feds or have family members in the feds, man, but go ahead and walk us through everyday life in the feds for Blow when you were there.
Everyday life in the feds, it's a struggle, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's day for day. You got to do. Only way you're gonna get out of there is fight your case or a law change. If a law don't change, then or a case don't change, then you're gonna be fighting your case every day. It's an everyday life, man. Learn how to live and adjust to it. You do the same thing. You're gonna work. Ain't no such thing as you don't work. You're gonna stand up account. And if you don't want to stand up account, you're going to the hole.
During your time in the feds,
hold on, I can't hear you.
I said during your time in the feds, were you ever put in the hole?
Yeah. The longest I ever did was 6 months in the hole. It was behind something my celly had done. I ain't had nothing to do with it, but you know what I'm saying? I did 6 months in the hole for some weed and shit.
So let me ask this, man. So were you ever affiliated as far as were you ever affiliated in any gang in the feds?
Yeah. I'm a blood. I'm a blood for Fort Worth from Texas, man. You know what I'm saying? When I first went there, the Texas car tried to, they were gonna jump on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I exposed the nigga that I knew a nigga was a snitch. And his paperwork he tried to come by, but I knew he was a snitch. You know what I'm saying? And I was taught.
So let me ask this. I know that you said I said, I noticed you said on his paperwork, right?
I can't say it again because I asked about it, right? I couldn't hear you.
I said, I know you said on his paperwork, right?
Yeah, he was in somebody else's paperwork. Yeah.
So is that some paperwork that was sent in the prison, or did y'all get that while he was there?
Nah, I met the nigga he was supposed to have testified against and everything else. But see, down there, he was a big dog. He was a big dog on the yard. You know what I'm saying? He one of the big dogs and shit on the yard.
So let me ask you this, man. So is it many gangs in the feds? How's the gang life ran in the feds?
How the gangs go in the fed? Shit, you got as far as the black gangs, you got everybody. You got to really go by the state, your state, or it can go by if you GD, you roll the GD, you vice lord, you ride vice lords. You know what I'm saying? You got the Bloods, you got the Crips, you got Texas, you got Cali, you got New York, you got Iowa, you got motherfuckers from everywhere.
So now let's swing back around, man. I want to talk about Fort Worth a little bit, right? What was it like for Blow? What was it like for Blow growing up in Fort Worth?
Oh man, Fort Worth it was a struggle. It's a struggle city, but it's a money city if you know what you're doing. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Well, it was mostly about people fighting, man. You know, niggas in Fort Worth were fighting before the dope and shit came. Then later on, probably by like 88, 89, then the gangs and shit started migrating down here. You know, they migrated down here to Texas and everything else and started doing different things. But until then, you know, you can go whichever side of town you want to go to. You can do whatever you want to do. But see, I was a youngster back then. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with a mother. My mother was there for me. My father, you know, he did his own thing. I still respect him for giving me life. But my mother was a hardworking mother. She didn't raise nobody to be a fool, you know. Me and my brother stayed at home, you know. Then my little sister came along, did her own cooking. You know what I'm saying? Learned how to survive. My mother taught us how to survive. You know what I'm saying? And so as I got older, you know, you start getting older, you migrate out to the streets, you start seeing different things in the streets. You run across a cat, you hook up with them, you know, y'all all going through. But see, everybody going through the same thing, no matter where you at. You know what I'm saying? In this household, they got something going on. In this household, they got, you know, but we all of us grew up, but wasn't really no father figure there. So we became our own father figures. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, as time grew on, go ahead.
No, this all about you. Do what you do.
Nah, man, it ain't about me. So, you know, as time grew on, you know, the nigga got older, and then the nigga learned the nigga went to schools, had fights at schools, put out of schools, you know, just taking the mama through everything. But just, you know, doing some shit that I'm woke to now. So then it turned around, I left the got in the gang shit full blooded. You know what I'm saying? And it was always, you know, you get mine, I'm gonna get yours. You get my mama, I'm gonna get your mama. You get my family. See, we played back then. A nigga didn't have to get you. We'll come get somebody close to you to get you, and you'll come out of hiding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then as I got older, I started getting wise. I started listening to older cats. But we talking about 15, 16, 14 years old. You know, that's the way my mind frame was. Then when I turned about 16 and a half, somewhere like that, I got into the dope game. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, man. Since you've been home out of the feds, right?
Yeah.
I said since you've been home out of the feds, right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
What were some of the things that you noticed that's different in your neighborhood?
Man, a lot of different, man. Most of the one thing is as far as the technology, but far as a lot of dudes still doing the same thing. A lot of them still misguided. A lot of them still allow others to lead them different ways. You know what I'm saying? But you know, most of them that be around me, they're gonna work and they're gonna take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we didn't have, but they're gonna all do something for their children. All of them that I hang around.
So I take it as like you saying, you know, you are a positive role model and an influence in the guys that's in your neighborhood, right?
I can't hear you.
I say I take it as though if you are a positive influence and also a role model for the guys that's in your neighborhood, right?
Well, well, basically, brother, I live my life, and whatever choices they make, I just let them make the choices, just decide, because I can't tell a man what to do. So I just try to be sort of like what you say, you know what I'm saying, just a bigger influence and show them it's a different way, but at the same time, they gotta, they live their life. You know what I'm saying? I tell them if they want to go do this, what you looking at, where you bond money, I gotta paint that picture so they'll see that picture and they'll have time to think about it. So if you give a man time to think, then they'll, you know what I'm saying, they'll cancel it in the long run.
So let me ask this, man. So let's talk about the guys that's in society today, man. What do you think they biggest influence is as far as their identity? Where do you think they get their identity from?
Which ones?
The guys that you see as far as from everyday basis that's in the neighborhood or just in society, period. Where do you think they get their identity from?
Well, the majority of them that I see, they still get their identity from their past. They still hold on to their past and everything else, and they don't want to relinquish their past. So they past identify him. If he was a shooter back then, they feel he's a shooter now. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them I can't say, because when no rapists, when no thieves, and a lot of that shit around me. You know what I'm saying? Jack boys and all that. It's most of them around me.
So let me ask you, man. So the positive influence and the role model in your life was who?
How the who?
No, I said the positive influence and the role models in your life was who? Who were they?
Oh, the positive and the old people that I seen influence me to change was the old nigga. The old nigga showed me a lot. Then I met other people, you know what I'm saying? My other partner, they showed me something. My partner, Lil D, it's a lot of people showing me different things because they stayed out here. They didn't go down that road I went through. You know what I'm saying? They went through. Then my brother, one big positive, we come up at the same womb. He went a whole nother way. I just chose to go this way.
So let me ask this, man. From your personal opinion, right? What makes a man?
Yeah.
I said, from your personal opinion, what makes a man commit crime, man?
My personal opinion, every man that commit crime to survive. They commit crime to survive, to try to feed their family, to try to do something. They doing that, because crime has always been committed. That's what this country based off of, crime.
So let's get back to this. So those that identify themselves as shooters, right?
As who?
I want to get back to this question right here. Those that identify themselves as shooters, right? And that was shooting.
Hey, I can't hear you. Hello.
I said, so let me ask this. So I want to get back to this question right here. For those that identify themselves as a shooter, right?
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
You're a killer. You pull the trigger, no matter which way you is, you're a killer. You only reason you're shooting to kill.
Okay, so for the people in society now today, right? And I know you've been keeping up with the news and things that's been going on in society today. What about the killer that goes into the schoolhouse? What is, from your personal opinion, what is his problem?
Lack of attention, lack of love. He wanted some attention. You know what I'm saying? He really wanted some attention. He wanted to go there and just take his frustration out. He wanted to be a copycat, more like a copycat of what happened in Buffalo. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this, man. So if you had any dealings with that situation, what would be your solution to try to put a stop to that? What would be your solution?
Show them how to get some money, man. Give them a way to say they don't have idle mind, idle time. You know what I'm saying? As long as they mind idle, they're gonna do devil stuff. They got an idle mind.
So you feel like, from your personal opinion, you feel like it's a lot of people that's in society right now today, man, that have too much time on their hands that lead up to doing things of destruction?
Yes. Yes, they got too much time on their hand. The jobs ain't paying them enough. Bills, toilet paper, everything went up. You know what I'm saying? They going to work all week and they coming home and they not making enough. So they get to the point they just say, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Quit. Why I'm gonna keep working this job and I can make this in the street? To me, Hollywood, understanding is the key to life. To be able to understand everybody. Let them live. You don't have to agree with them, but I can understand where he's coming from.
So, okay, as a mother and a father growing up in the household, right? What do we do to ensure that the child, whether it be girl or boy, gonna be raised up in the household and receive the proper tools? What are your advice for that single mother and that single father? What are the steps they need to take to raise their child in this world in 2022, and for that child to be able to have some type of self-identity so they don't have to look for it in the streets?
Spend time with them, get an understanding of them. Don't be so judgmental. Just take your time at the same time. Remember who the parent is and not your friend. Cause see, once you're a parent, it's not no obligation. It's your job to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's your job. If you gotta pay child support, it's your job to take care of your child. You made your child. After a while, go back and fight for your kids. I won both of my kids, so I can relate to a single mother.
So in the household where the father goes to prison and the mother's left alone, what can we expect from that situation?
Shit, you can't expect the goddamn thing. You don't put expectations on nobody. You can sit and wish, but you can't expect nothing. She got to live her life. Only thing you can try to do is try to make your presence felt. Write a letter, send letters. If you see somebody, buy a picture with stamps. As long as they keep you irrelevant in them and then child's life till you get home.
To the man
that's the only thing you can do.
To the man that's in prison now, what would be your advice to that person that's in prison now, that's gonna see this video?
What would be my advice as far as telling him what?
What should he expect? What should he do? And the reason why I'm asking you this, because you've been to the feds and now you have sole custody of your kids. So therefore,
first thing as far as pray to God and don't worry about what's going on out here, because you're gonna stress yourself out worrying about what's going on out here. Ain't nothing you can do. I got two older ones. I went to prison with my oldest two. One was 1 and the other one even 1 year.
To the man that's getting out, that has kids, what are your advice to him?
He know what he getting out to. He know what his baby mama like. He know whether she was bringing it to him or not. He got himself to think, shit, he can't come back and try to do catch up. Shit, he can only go from where it started right now. He can't make up for what he did. That was already said and written. That's the past. He sit there and worry about his baby mama, he might well lock himself back up in prison.
So let me ask you this, man. So a man that gets out of prison, right?
Yeah.
Goes back to prison. Gets out of prison and goes back to prison, right?
Right.
from your personal opinion, and we all have opinions, that's why I'm asking you this. Why does that man keep returning back to prison?
Shit, he ain't got no patience. He got patience enough, but he ain't got no patience out here.
My next question to you, man, is this right here, man. What does it take to stay out of prison? You've been out for a while. That's why I'm asking you that. What does it take to stay out?
Discipline. Deny yourself of this world. And what goes around, come around this world. You got to be in your own world and learn you and use the same things you was in prison. If you got a job, you know you got to be there on time. You can't, you got to make that move. You got to make 10-minute move or whatever move you got to make. You get three course meals. You know, you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. After that, you got to fend for yourself. He should know how to wash. He should know how to cook. He should know how to grocery shop. He should know how to do all that. He ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. He only fuck with the people that was there for him when he was in there. Fuck all the new motherfuckers. They ain't putting no money on your books. They don't know. You still compensate. It ain't that you don't fuck with them. You just don't make yourself available to them.
Once again, real life story, real life people with nothing is ever scripted at the Ferguson Chronicle. This is the People's Channel where your voice matters to us. So let me ask you this, man. So in your neighborhood right now, as you sit on your porch, right? Who are some of the positive people that's in your neighborhood right now?
Who is who?
I say in your neighborhood right now, in Fort Worth, Texas, who are some of the positive people that you consider that's putting in work for Fort Worth?
See, my neighbors across the street, Trina, Anthony. You know, she drive trucks, she cut yards. But they the perfect example of what a black man and a black woman supposed to be. He can come over and sit 4 or 5 hours. She ain't gonna say one word about him. I got another single father to stay next door to me. He raised his daughter. I watched him as his wife passed and watched him raise his daughter. She graduated. Now she doing her thing. Hey, it's a bunch. Then I got some white folks that stay right next door to me. They good and they do their thing and they go to work and they, you know what I'm saying? They show you what true love's supposed to be because they go through some hard times. So I take that. Then I got neighbors across the street. You know, they raise their kids and doing, you know, it's a whole family event. Then we got the old woman to stay next door. She got cameras everywhere. That she gonna complain here and there, but we show them respect. So it basically, you know, my neighborhood, my community right now, we make our own self feel good.
So let me ask this, man. I mean, you know, and like I'm asking you certain questions because I know you qualified to answer these questions because, you know, you're not a boy, you're a grown man, full grown man that has custody of his kids. And I know that was a battle within itself. And I salute you for that because any man that has to go through that, you know, dealing with the courts in that situation is a hell of a deal. So let me ask this, man. So your advice to a man that's struggling in the streets, headed in the direction that you were headed in, was the federal penitentiary. What would be your advice to that person to try and keep them free? Not to say that you can make anybody do anything, but we give advice because we've been through the struggle and we understand what it feels like to be locked up. And most people don't until they're there and they realize, damn, I fucked up. So what would be your advice to that one person, man? Whether it be woman or man?
Man, that's easy. You put on that jacket, be prepared to wear it. You know what I'm saying? You got that guys, don't go to that courtroom and go to crying about it. Because this is what you do. I show them, tell them to go look up USGG 920, United States Sentencing Guideline. And look up the Sentencing Guideline book and tell them what they looking at. You know what I'm saying? Read up the Sentencing Guideline. You can Google everything. You know what I'm saying? You can find out everything a person wants. All you got to do is go get their transcripts. You don't need no PSI. These niggas talking about PSI and all that other shit. Go get the transcripts in court. You get your transcripts, it's gonna tell you everything that was said in that court. That's public record. So, you know, basically I just tell them, you know, if you want to do this, look at what you face. Because that's where you're going. I ain't seen a dope dealer today walk away and be happy. He either dead or in jail.
So, man, as we bring this to a close, man, and you got a lot of wisdom, and that goes without saying. But what I like to do on the Ferguson Chronicle at the end of every show, man, I like to let a man close the show on his own personal accord, man. That means shout out to whoever you want to shout out to. If not, leave your stamp on your interview. For the people that don't know you, after hearing this, they will know you.
Shit, man. Basically, the only thing I could tell everybody, man, follow your own mind. Mind your own business. You know what I'm saying? Just stay in your own lane. Because once you put on that jacket, you got to wear it all the way. Don't put it on and take it off when you get to court. Don't put it on if you go to graveyard with it, go to graveyard with it. Don't cry when somebody died and all that other shit. That's what they chose to do. That's what they, you know, that's their life. You know, for the Lord give life, Lord take life. At the end of the day, it was that person's time to go. Don't let nobody influence you of social media or anything else. If that's what you want to do, that's what you do. Don't let nobody else influence you. Because when you go in that pen, it ain't no more unless you're going to tell on a friend. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, as far as anything else, homie, people got to live their life, and that's what they going to do. They just got to change because they want to change. Mama can't change. Your sister can't change. Can't nobody change you. You're going to do what you want to do. If you don't want to go to work, you don't want to go to work. But don't go ask the motherfucker for shit. You don't want to do something, that's on you, man. You got to build your own character. You got to learn to work for yourself. Don't be dependent on these folks to help you. Because they got one way to help you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make your own way to help yourself. Don't nobody owe you a goddamn thing. You owe yourself. You know the difference between right and wrong, whether you're doing it in the open or you're doing it behind closed doors. You know if you ain't doing it in the open, you know you're doing wrong. And as far as a woman, shit, a woman need to learn how to be a woman. A lot of these young ladies ain't no women out here. And they can't blame them because they don't know their own history. But they got to get back to being the big mama and knowing what they need to do. So I ain't got too much else to say. It's on you.
Once again, Real Life Story was nothing that ever scripted, man. And today, we bringing it live from the street in Fort Worth, Texas, man. Blow, I appreciate you coming on, for giving your spiel on your time spent in the feds, most of all, for dropping the jewels you just dropped, man. So much respect to you, man. Salute, stay up, and congrats, man, for not giving up on what belonged to you, man, which was your kids, man. Until then, bro, stay free and stay up.
All right, my brother.
Once again, Real Live People, Real Live Story, where we do nothing but keep it 100 at the Ferguson Chronicle, man. Like I said, I've never been to the federal penitentiary, but we got it today from Blow. He brought it from the feds to the streets and gave his personal opinion on life. And that's all we can do. It's awful opinions. It's up to the individual to take the information and take off running with it. Until next time, salute.